Hello, welcome to What's Up in Business Travel, a Business Travel 360 podcast where we update you each week on what's happening in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those that need to know what is happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, January 26th, and we have completed week 4 of 2026. Let's get to the headlines. Allegiant Air has agreed to acquire Sun Country Airlines for $1.5 billion, a deal that would materially broaden Allegiant's network and business profile pending approval. The transaction will combine Allegiant's leisure-heavy portfolio of 551 routes with Sun Country's 105 route network, anchored in Minneapolis-St. Paul. Importantly, the acquisition will immediately give Allegiant an international footprint through Sun Country's 18 routes to Canada, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. The deal also adds charter and cargo capabilities, including Sun Country's growing freight business and its multi-year contract with Amazon Prime Air. Together, the airlines will operate a fleet of 186 aircraft, mixing Allegiant's Airbus and Boeing 737 jets with Sun Country's all 737 operation. Allegiant projects $140 million in annual synergies within 3 years through network expansion, operational efficiencies, and scale-related cost savings. Severe winter weather has triggered a widespread disruption across the U.S. air travel system, with airlines canceling more than 11,000 flights on Sunday alone, according to FlightAware. The figure marks the highest single-day total of cancellations since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and is more than double Saturday's cancellations. The National Weather Service reported that the storm system brought heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain from the southern Rockies through New England, with impacts expected to persist into Monday. More than 2,400 flights have already been canceled for Monday as airlines attempt to manage crew, aircraft, and airport constraints. Flight tracking data from Radar24 shows American Airlines was the most affected airline over the weekend, followed by United Airlines and Delta Airlines, underscoring the storm's nationwide operational impact. Trip.com has confirmed that it is under investigation by China's State Administration for Market Regulation over alleged abuse of a dominant market position. The online travel agency said it received formal notice of the probe on January 14th and will cooperate fully while continuing normal operations. Regulators did not specify the alleged violations, though China's anti-monopoly law covers practices such as blocking internet traffic, imposing contracts, or unfairly raising commissions. If found in breach, Trip.com could face fines ranging from 1 to 10% of its previous year's revenue. The investigation aligns with China's broader push to tighten oversight of large digital platforms following mid-2025 amendments to the anti-unfair competition law targeting data abuse and unfair competition. The probe recalls earlier enforcement actions, including Alibaba's $2.6 billion antitrust fine in 2021. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. U.S.-based travel agencies settled more than $100 billion in airline ticket sales through ARC in 2025, marking a 1% increase over 2024 and the highest annual total in ARC's history. Passenger volumes rose 3% year-over-year to 293 million trips, reflecting steady growth across both domestic and international markets. Domestic travel accounted for 183 million trips, up 2%, while international travel climbed 4% to roughly 110 million trips. December kept the year with strong momentum as ticket sales increased 6.6% to more than $7.2 billion and passenger trips rose 7.3% to over 20 million. Notably, agencies with high concentrations of corporate and government business posted one of only 2 year-over-year gains in 2025 during December, signaling a modest late-year recovery in managed travel demand. The U.S. State Department announced it will suspend immigrant visa processing for citizens of 75 countries starting January 21st, citing concerns that applicants would require public assistance while residing in the United States. The directive, issued under the Secretary of State, follows a broader order of tightening enforcement of public charge rules and expands on earlier travel and immigration restrictions affecting nearly 40 nations. Countries impacted include Afghanistan, Iran, Russia, and Somalia. The suspension applies exclusively to immigrant visas and does not affect non-immigrant categories such as tourist or business visas, which account for the majority of the applications. Officials anticipate rising demand for temporary visas in the coming years, driven in part by major global events hosted by the U.S., including the 2025 FIFA World Cup and the 2028 Olympic Games. Delta Airlines has placed an order for 30 Boeing 787 Dreamliners with options for an additional 30 aircraft, introducing the wide-body jet as the new fleet type for the airline. Deliveries are scheduled to begin in 2031 and will support Delta's long-term international expansion strategy, particularly in premium-heavy markets. The announcement coincided with strong fourth quarter and full-year results as Delta executives highlighted improving demand across both leisure and corporate segments. Corporate sales rose 8% year-over-year in the fourth quarter, while premium and loyalty revenues also posted strong solid gains in 2025. A recent Delta survey found nearly 90% of corporate customers expect travel volumes in 2026 to increase or remain stable, reinforcing optimism for continued business travel recovery. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. Capital One announced it will acquire payments and expense management startup Brex for $5.15 billion, marking another high-profile transaction under the CEO. Disclosed alongside the bank's fourth quarter earnings, the deal will be funded equally through cash and stock. Brex was most recently valued at over $12 billion, underscoring the valuation pressures facing fintech firms amid higher interest rates and a more cautious investment environment. Capital One shares fell roughly 3% following the announcement. Brex initially gained traction by offering credit cards and lending products to venture-backed startups during the low-rate era before expanding into expense management and payments for larger, more established companies. Its customer base now spans both startups and enterprises, including firms such as Robinhood and Zoom. Capital One said combining Brex's technology with its scale and distribution will accelerate growth more effectively than Brex could achieve independently. Sabre Corp has formed a strategic partnership with AI travel platform BizTrip.AI, including a minority investment to co-develop a new generation of AI-powered corporate travel assistants. Under the agreement, BizTrip.AI will leverage Sabre's global infrastructure, including the Sabre Mosaic Travel Marketplace, connectivity to more than 50,000 travel management companies, and Sabre's Model Context Protocol server, which enables secure access to external data sources. The jointly developed tools are designed to support natural language bookings, complex itinerary management, and automated policy compliance for TMCs, corporate clients, and suppliers. Sabre executives said that the partnership reflects growing confidence in agentic AI to deliver meaningful personalization and automation at scale. The collaboration is also intended to speed innovation across corporate travel ecosystem by embedding advanced AI capabilities directly into existing bookings and servicing workflows used worldwide. Air India has strengthened its international partnerships through 2 new agreements with Saudia and Singapore Airlines, significantly expanding connectivity across key global markets. A new codeshare arrangement with Saudia will allow Air India passengers traveling to Jeddah or Riyadh to continue onward to major Saudi cities, while Saudi customers gain access to more than 20 Indian destinations via Air India's hubs in Mumbai and Delhi. Separately, Air India and Singapore Airlines signed a commercial operation framework to deepen their long-standing alliance. The airlines are exploring closer schedule coordination, enhanced single-ticket journeys, and expanded product and loyalty benefits beyond the current Star Alliance privileges. Together, the agreements reinforce Air India's strategy to grow international reach, improve customer experience, and strengthen its position across the Middle East and Asia Pacific. AirAsia X will officially change its name to AirAsia, advancing the group's broader restructuring and brand consolidation strategy. AirAsia CEO said that the integration of AirAsia X and AirAsia will create a single unified low-cost airline group with global ambitions. Bahrain is expected to serve as the hub. The restructuring aims to improve operational efficiency, strengthen the balance sheet, refinance debt, and ultimately deliver a targeted margin of 30%. And now, news of travel services and improvements. Hilton Worldwide has entered into a partnership with apartment-style accommodation provider Placemaker, bringing its properties into Hilton's booking and distribution channels starting in the first half of the year. The collaboration introduces Apartment Collection by Hilton, which will initially feature around 3,000 Placemaker units, supplementing approximately 10,000 apartment-style accommodations already in Hilton's portfolio. Placemaker currently operates more than 15 properties across the United States, including several in the Washington, D.C. market, with additional locations expected to join later in 2026. Properties within the apartment collection will participate fully in Hilton Honors, allowing guests to earn points and receive standard loyalty benefits such as complimentary Wi-Fi. United Airlines is continuing its transition towards advanced purchase meal ordering for economy class passengers, allowing flyers to pre-order meals via the United app or united.com beginning 5 days before departure and up to 24 hours prior to flight time. The move is an interim step ahead of a broader shift to advance-only meal purchases on domestic and short-haul international routes starting on March 1st. United Airlines already sells meals on longer U.S. routes and select international markets and says advanced ordering will improve inventory planning for catering partners while reducing food waste. The airline estimates that the initiative will prevent more than 100,000 pounds of unused food from entering landfills annually. United first introduced advanced meal ordering in premium cabins in 2021, driving a nearly 40% increase in domestic customer satisfaction scores. The Lufthansa Group has announced plans to deploy Starlink across its entire fleet, including both existing aircraft and future deliveries. The service will be offered free of charge to all frequent flyer status members and traveler ID users, regardless of cabin class, marking a significant expansion of complimentary onboard connectivity. The rollout aligns with United Group's broader digital strategy and reflects rising customer expectation for reliable, high-quality in-flight connectivity as a standard feature. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in again next week on Monday to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone that you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. Remember to subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on your favorite podcast music player. You can also listen at businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.